Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to discuss how to write answers for board exams, specifically for this year's class 12th board exams. So without much further delay, let's move ahead. Now, we've picked up a question from this year's sample paper provided by CBSE. The question is from a 4-marker writing section. Look at the question. You are Simar/Smriti of Lotus International School, Jodhpur. Your school has decided to contribute in controlling traffic near your school and requires the names of volunteers from class 9th to 12th. You have to write a notice to be displayed on the notice board. Now, make sure that when you read the question, there are two things you have to keep in mind. The format is a notice format and the word limit is precisely 50 words. Since it's a 4-marker question, you have to keep few parameters clear while thinking about how to write the question. Look at the first parameter. The format of the question comprises 1 mark. What all comes in the format? First, issuing authority, name of institution. If you begin writing notice without keeping this in mind, you will lose a mark from this section of the marking scheme. Second, the word notice always has to be written at the beginning, coming after the issuing authority. Third is your heading. Heading can be any creative title that you can think of, keeping in mind this title has to be in accordance with the question. Don't go very over the top, coming up with options that are not even matching with the question. Fourth is your date. The date has to be written in full format in the notice. Last being your writer's name with designation. Now remember, most often people end up missing out on the designation aspect. Don't do that. All these elements together give you 1 mark while the examiner is checking your response. Now, this content takes 2 marks of your marking scheme. In content, the first thing I have to keep a check on is my heading. I can come up with a relevant title such as Curbing Traffic Menace or any other title that you can think of. Second are the value points that should always be part of your content. First, which all classes are eligible. Second, date, time, area or any other location that has been prescribed, or you may come up with your own response. Third being the appeal of your writing. This appeal has to be gathering attention of people because it's a notice format. And lastly, I'm supposed to mention the last date for submitting names. Once I do that, I make sure that my content acquires 2 marks of my writing. What am I left with now? That gives me 1 final mark in this entire 4-mark section. The last is your expression. This expression of writing is your formal tone of writing. Remember, you are writing a notice which is not part of your everyday casual conversation. It has to be placed on a notice board and therefore you should have formal tone while writing your response. Now, once I have kept in mind the format, the content and the expression, the most appropriate response gets 4 out of 4 regardless that you have a fancy vocabulary or not. You may use simple English but correct grammatical English to ensure that you get full 4 mark in this writing section. Now, look at the response. Make sure you have a neat box that encompasses your notice. It's not mandatory to make this box, however, it definitely makes your answer a presentable answer. You begin your response by writing the issuing authority, then write the word notice. After that comes your date in full format. Once I have these 3 elements, I give my heading to the notice. Here we have taken a simple illustrative heading, traffic control drive. Since this is a drive initiated by school, now I can easily write my notice in 50 words, keeping in mind the content areas. Look at the response. To regulate the afternoon traffic jam, our school has initiated traffic control drive. We have elaborated the main theme of the notice. Interested volunteers from class 9 to 12. This part, students, is what makes it essential for the examiner to notice that you have mentioned the guideline. Students who wish to participate in leading the change, this part is your appeal that we talked about, should submit their names to the undersigned before a particular date. This date can be created by you on the basis of the question. The drive commences from 1st April 1 p.m. onwards. Again, like we said, content should have the basic guidelines of issuing authority and the details. We have taken a note of all of these. Make sure the last line is always part of your response. For further details, contact the undersigned. This concluding reference completes the content of your notice to ensure that you have covered all the areas. What comes at the end? The name of the person writing the notice with the designation. Now remember, all these areas together ensure that you have a full 4-mark response. Once you have written, do not be in a rush to move to the next question. Read the whole response, check for silly grammatical mistakes or spelling errors that we often do while writing in a hurry, just to be 100% sure that this question should not be the one letting you lose half a mark or 1 mark on the basis of silly grammatical errors. I hope the response is clear enough for you to ensure that you prepare on these lines while preparing for your board exams. All the very best for your preparation. Do not forget that the final solution of your actual CBSE paper will soon be uploaded on the respective exam date. All the very best for your preparation. Thank you so much.